Well, well, well. Good morning, good friends. Good evening, good afternoon. No matter where it is in the world that you happen to be, welcome to my podcast, The Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos. And it's good to see you all. Why am I up, Vito? Why am I up? I'm up because this is what I do. I'm up. And I'm podcasting to you guys here. I normally do my podcasts late at night, and I pre record them and play them later. But I thought that I would do this one live for you folks. Oh, what's over there in South Africa? How you doing over there? It's good to see you. And so I thought I would do this one live just to see if anybody was up. And alas, I have 11 people. And wow, look, the numbers are building. So you guys, you guys don't have anything to do late at night. Good morning in Sweden, 9 o'clock in the morning over there. It's good to have you, Frederick Lindgren. Thank you for tuning in. It is 3 o'clock in the morning here. 3 o'clock in the morning in my podcast booth, broadcasting to you guys. Uh, I thought I would simulcast on my YouTube channel tonight, but typically I do my broadcasting late nights because I work around the clock doing this thing here. Let's see, Hendrik, it's 10 o'clock there where you are. Um, just finished a fire pit here in Yuma. Just finished building a fire pit? Wow. What's up? We're cold in Kansas. How cold are you guys? And hello from Smollett Town. Where is Smollett Town? Hello over there to Hawaii. It's good to see you guys. Let me look up real quick where Smollett Town is. That's interesting to me. Um, where is Smollett Town? Oh, it is in Chicago. Wow. Let's see. Finally catch me live. Yes, Steve C. Is that you over there in the UK, Steve C? Dallas, Texas, Chicago. Man, the numbers are building and building. I thought you all would be asleep. Night owls, I see that I have here. Anyway, welcome to another edition of the Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos. And we are doing our thing here. Um, and we want to talk to you guys about some of the stuff, some housekeeping. So we want to tell you about Black Dragon Biker TV, which is the number one motorcycle protocol YouTube channel in the country. And we want to talk to you about our uh, online web magazine, Black Dragon Biker News Network, that can be found at bikerliberty.com. Bikerliberty.com. We invite you to go over there and check out some of our postings. We post on biker news almost every day, and the Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos is going to become a daily show pretty soon. Somebody said they're staying up late watching boxing. So, yeah, we're up pretty late in the night. And what I wanted to talk about tonight, and I didn't want to take up a whole lot of time, I have been working on some of my other projects, like some of you guys might see me posting on the page, my new YouTube channel called Think Tactical, which is a channel designed for biker preppers, as it were, and people who want to be prepared for calamity and your all my things like my book out videos. I see Vito, who is also known as Freeway, who is a member of the Atlanta chapter of the Mighty Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation, and it's always great to have my brothers on watching me. It just always makes me feel good. And he has seen from my Think Tactical, my bug out bag video. And you guys might be watching it on Black Dragon Biker TV, but I put it there to entice you guys to go over to my new YouTube channel, Think Tactical. And you might have to look a little bit to find it. I'm going to put a link in to it in this video and also in the description of the blog on the Motorcycle Chaos that you can find on Spreaker and iTunes, and oh my goodness, everything. Stitcher, any place about you can look. Spotify, you'll find the Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos. And I'm going to put the links to my new channel, Think Tactical, so you guys can check that out. And the bug out bag video I just did, it was a it was a long video. Me and these are two friends of mine, two colleagues. We work together. Bob Eclipse Coleman, Eclipse because he's like 6'6". What is he? About 315 pounds. And Coach Myron Petro and Coach Petro. Man, these guys are something else. These guys are outdoorsmen, woodsmen, survivalists, gun manufacturers, gunsmiths, hunters, skinners. They clean animals, skin them, cut them, chunk them up, make jerky. They do everything. These guys are two Daniel Boones, Davy Crockett's, and they are preppers on a serious level. So I invited them to, and they're Second Amendment guys. So those of you who are not Second Amendment people might not like that show, but those of you who are will love that show. And so we invite you to that Think Tactical. And we put the first video on there, the bug out bags. And it was really cool because those two guys, all of us being from different backgrounds, from different parts of the country, but we all had bug out bags. So in order to see what each person had on their bug out bags, we brought all of our bug out bags in, put them together, and we decided to take a look at those bug out bags. And that was what that whole video was about. And it'd be really cool for you guys to see the things that we did with the bug out bags. Think Tactical also has a news channel, thinktacticalnews.com. I invite you to check out thinktacticalnews.com, and also has a podcast called Think Tactical. So that's what we're doing. Somebody asked me a question. Hope this is not a stupid question, but are the Rough Riders a real motorcycle club? Well, we don't like to talk about particular motorcycle clubs here. You can look on the back of their cut, and if it says MC on it, then you can know. That's pretty much how you know if a club claims to be an MC or not. They have MC on their cut. Two all the way. Let's see. A rider knows nothing of his or hers bikes inside and out. A biker do. What's that? Rider knows nothing of his or hers bike inside and out. A biker do. I didn't quite catch that 915. Type it again. But if you want to know something about Southern Comfort, if you want to know something about a particular motorcycle club, the best thing to do is pull one of those guys over and ask them, hey, tell me a little bit about your motorcycle club. Take a little time, second here, to get a little drink. Wonderful stuff. Okay. Tonight's YouTube thing, not YouTube, but tonight's podcast thing, I was asked a question by a guy. And let me kind of find that document here so I can read it to you. This came to me from one of my, this either came as an IM, or it came on a comment, or it came as a question. Sorry, I wasn't trying to bug. No, you didn't bug me at all, Southern Comfort. These are good questions. I'm just telling you the proper way to ask them. Someone says, good job with the podcast. I enjoy them at my job all the time. Brian T., we're going to try to get these podcasts going like, I want to be more consistent, but I've been building, you guys remember my first podcast booth, and my house caught on fire and I lost that podcast booth. So it's taken me an entire year to get a podcast booth. And I'm so pleased to have it with my acoustic treatments all over the walls. And hopefully my voice is not boomeranging through here. See, if I back off here, it's still, but when I come here, everything should be good. So I'm pretty pleased with this. So thank you for listening to the podcast, and please share it and pass it around. Good evening, Black Dragon, Warrior Brotherhood MC in the house. Good evening, Warrior Brotherhood. Glad to have you guys. Good evening. Actually, it's good morning. And hi, John from Cambodia. Must be early in the morning there. Yes, about 3 a.m., 3:16. what time is it in Cambodia? And, I've always wanted to visit Cambodia and Vietnam. I've always wanted to visit those two places. So, Scott McNeil, glad to have you in from Cambodia. God bless you. And I bet it's beautiful over there. Is it rainy season? Send me an email to Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com. Tell me what it takes to get over there and where I might want to stay and that kind of stuff. I want to go to Cambodia. That's just the bottom line. A rider is a hobbyist, and this is a lifestyle for a biker. Oh, someone is bringing me back to my what I started this off for. Sound is good. Thank you. Sound is good. Someone told me. Irrespectively, I think it doesn't matter if you are a rider or a biker. It comes to these facts: one, be safe, and two, uh, respect, and three, always apply normal ethics. So here we go. Black Dragon, don't know how to get a question to you, so I'll throw it out here. So this must have been in my comments. I went to a vet event and wore my PGR vest, and I think PGR is Patriot Guard Riders. So I rode my Patriot Guard Riders vest to honor the vets, along with other Patriot Guard Riders, PGR Riders. Some nut started blasting me for being a wannabe biker. Now, in my defense, I only ride a bike, no cage. I prefer it that way. The question is, Black Dragon, what, in your opinion, is the difference between a rider and a biker? And I had to think about that for a minute. And so when I think about the difference between a rider and a biker, I have to go, wow. Is there a difference? Well, I guess there is. And so here's my long and short of it. First of all, folks who see you in a Patriot Guard vest and come give you a hard time about not being a biker are typically folks that are trying to give you a hard time to try to say you're not in a real motorcycle club. That's really where that's coming from. And they might use a term like you're not a real biker or you're a wannabe biker. And what they're really talking about is you're a wannabe motorcycle club. But when you have a brotherhood, something that does for you what it needs to do, be damned what somebody thinks, what they got to say about it. It's really none of your business. I don't care what you have to say about my brotherhood. Talk too crazy about us and you're going to catch one, because you can get one talking crazy. Well, I'm 55 now. I don't know. I still feel young, like I just want to belt one out from time to time. I feel like I can still backhand people and carry on, and maybe not. Maybe I'll reach out and grab somebody and catch something back, I haven't caught before, because, Black Dragon hadn't been whooped in a while. So, forgive me, that water's good. So, I have to think about that when I say that. Maybe I won't belt you one. Maybe I'll just turn around and leave. But I don't really care what people have to say about my organization. And a lot of people, what they don't know about Patriot Guard is Patriot Guard is so strong in what they do. The Patriot Guard is so amazing in what they do. The Patriot Guard helped me bury one of my brothers. And I have never seen anything so professional. One of my brothers fell off his motorcycle and killed himself, crashed into a guardrail about 2 years ago. And the Patriot Guard went down to Florida with us to bury him. And hey, Daryl Richardson, it's good to see you. Yes, it is early here. And so, first of all, it was almost 100 miles from where the funeral was to the graveyard. And they rode us there, and they rode in our pack, and they showed up with as many brothers as we had. And so there was damn near 150 motorcycles in this procession. And they they rode this, and so I led the pack, and next to me was this Patriot Guard, and I've never led anybody in a Black Sabbath pack before. And but this guy, he knew the way. And listen, when they first came up to me, they were like, "Okay, listen here, we're gonna lead blah blah this blah blah blah." And I not knowing anything about the Patriot Guard, I was like, "No, the hell you're not. You're not leading a damn thing in the Black Sabbath." And I was really kind of mean. I was hurt. My brother was dead. I was really mean to this guy. I don't even know his name, and he was offended, as he should have been. As I would learn later, why he should have been offended, because of all the trouble they had gone through, and it was a point that we were going to argue. And one of his other commander people, because they have ranks, one of his commander people came up and said, "Hey, man, we're here for the family and the brothers. Whatever they want, we'll do. If they want us to ride at the back of the pack, we'll ride at the back of the pack. If they want us to ride at the front of the pack, we'll ride at the front of the pack." And so their attitude of service was impressive. Made me feel like a heel right away. And when I realized that the graveyard was 100 miles away, and I had no idea of how to get there, after I had acted such an ass, I had to go back, ride my bike way back to the back where they were, and ask the one leader guy to come up and ride next to me and lead the procession, which he did. And it wasn't like a nanny nanny boo boo, or I told you so, or aha, you need me, none of that. It was with the greatest humility. And he came and he led our pack. And I understood why they were set up to do that. Because this guy had made arrangements with every damn police department between here and there. I had never seen nothing like it. Highway patrols, sheriffs, marshals, police departments, along the way, like this choreographed dance. When we would hit a new jurisdiction, police cars would line the road and block off all the stoplights, and the police officers would be standing outside of their car at parade rest. And as the procession went by, they would pop to attention, and they would have their hat in their hand, like this, and like some sort of ceremonial thing I've never seen before. They would have their hat in their hand, and then they would like pop off like a salute. It was the most amazing thing they did for my military dead brother. And man, I had tears. It really touches me to this day how well organized it was, how many dozens of police precincts, how much scheduling that had to take, and finesse and coordinating. And these guys called it a mission. This is mission number 471. It's a mission. It's a mission to them. And they wanted to get their mission accomplished. And they were there for a mission. So somebody giving you crap, and they were all veterans too. I think they're all veterans. I don't know if that's a requirement or not to ride with them, but those guys were veterans. And then let me tell you what else they did. They put this blockade in the back, because at one point I just pulled off the road and just sat and watched this 2.5 mile procession go by. And at the very back of the procession were these PGR, Patriot Guard Riders, and um, they were lined across the road, and no cars could pass the 2 miles. And you had all these yahoos down in Florida. We had all these yahoos. They were all pissed off, coming all hard up on them, honking the horns and all this business like they're going to run over them. And they dared those people to disrespect our procession. And they were riding with these big flags, huge flags, protecting my pack and my brothers and protecting our backs and watching this procession go professionally. And this they did for us for not one damn dime. It was amazing. It was absolutely the most amazing thing I'd ever seen in my life. So somebody was giving this PGR guy a hard time, and they can kiss my booty, my black ass, if you would like to know. So that's what I think about that. But we come back to what is the difference between a biker and a rider. Frank says, no, Black Dragon, I don't believe it is. I could be wrong. Haven't done a PGR in a while. I'm not sure what that's an answer to. Wasn't the PGR group formed in 2005? I don't know any history on those guys. All I know is how badass they were. And you guys know I don't curse a whole lot. But they were badass. They were something else. So when I think of a biker versus a rider, that's a lot, because I would say that, and this is Black Dragon, this is coming from me. I would say that a biker is let's see, a rider. Let's do this. A rider is someone who rides motorcycles, and when I think of a rider, I think of someone who either rides great distances or rides really fast, is a racer, or does something where I think of a rider as someone who has the passion and the love and the heart for riding 2 wheels. And in my case, I was a rider long before I was ever a biker. I was a rider when I was 3 and 4 and 5 years old, dreaming of riding a motorcycle. I wanted a motorcycle more than anything in the world. I wanted one. I had to have one. I bugged my parents for one. I screamed for one. I cried for one. I had temper tantrums for one until I could get a motorcycle. I was a rider. When I got my motorcycle, when I got my mini bike, I was on my mini bike. I rode all over the place, all over the back country, the backwoods. I rode that sucker till it ran out of gas, and gas was 50 cents a gallon. And I would go and get some more gas. I would walk to get some gas, go back to my mini bike and ride some more. And I rode every chance I got. I rode on the farm. I rode in the forest. I rode in the back hills. Then I got a mini bike. That was a mini bike. Then I got a little, an enduro, and I got a dirt bike. And then at some point I got a CX 500, an Interceptor 550, an Interceptor 750, Honda Hurricane, CBR 1000, a KZ 1300, a KZ 1000R, KZ, oh my goodness, what was that? A Z1R, then a GSXR 1100, a GSXR 1150 SE, then a GSXR, then a GSXR 1100, Went from the GSR to a GSXR, Gixxer, they called them. These motorcycles. Hayabusa, Honda Goldwing, all these motorcycles. Oh my gosh, a Rebel, a Seca 750. I was a rider, man. I was riding. I rode a Seca 750. I rode it from Oklahoma to Kansas, then over to Colorado, then down to New Mexico, out to California, and back on a Seca 750. Oh, and then I had a GS 1300, big old motorcycle, and then I had at one point I had this thing. What was it, a VMAX or something like that? All these bikes. I was a biker, man. I was a rider, and it didn't matter. Rain, slow, sleet. No, let me do that again. Rain, snow, sleet. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. I just wanted to ride. And I loved riding. A rider doesn't have to have anybody to ride with. A rider was something that I was. Somebody said, John, Black Dragon, you don't show us your clubhouse anymore. I'll take you guys to the clubhouse. I didn't know you wanted to see the clubhouse. We'll do that. So I was a rider long before I ever became a biker. As a rider, I rode alone. I camped out alone. I hung out alone. I didn't need anyone or anything, just the stars to navigate by and the highways. And it didn't matter if it was a 2-way, a 4-way, a 6-way, a back roads, a dirt road, a gravel road that was torn down. It didn't matter. I just wanted to be out there riding. I was a rider. And I think that's what a rider is. I think riders ride. And you don't have to do long distance to be a rider. There was a while that back in 80 something, the what do they call it? Freeze plugs. The freeze plugs blew out of my 1973 Duster, Plymouth Duster, slant 6, wonderful engine. Anyone can work on them. But the freeze plugs blew out, and I did not have the money to fix them, so I had to ride a whole winter with my feet on the ground in Oklahoma City in the snow, trying to keep my bike up. I don't even know if I could ride like that today. Riding with my feet on the ground as the bike is sliding back and forth, and I'm riding 20 miles to work, 20 miles back home twice a day, get home and just pour the water out of my boots. Riders ride. Are you going to hit the Tulsa chapter annual? I sure am. Somebody asked me. I sure am going to hit the Tulsa chapter annual. I'll be there. I hope you guys will be too. He's talking about the Tulsa chapter annual for the Black Sabbath Motorcycle Club Nation. So when I was a rider, I was a rider long, long before. And a rider can be someone who not necessarily rides from coast to coast, but I know riders. I've had riders in my motorcycle club. There's a guy by the name of Vader, Lord Vader of the Atlanta chapter of the Black Sabbath Nation, who only had a bike. He only had a bike for at least like 5 years that I knew him. He only had a bike. And he was riding around Atlanta in all kinds of weather, even the sleet and the snow, back and forth to work. He works at the airport. And he rode every single solitary day. And he rode 50, 60,000 miles a year because this was his mode of transportation. And he never left Atlanta and still had more riding time on him than folks that ride coast to coast, blah, blah, blah. Once told me, I'll eat a Black Sabbath Snow Bear disciple for lunch. Nobody knows more about riding in the snow than I do. And he never really wore a coat. He just layered up. I never really ever saw him with a coat on, just a bunch of layers of sweaters and stuff. It's kind of interesting. This guy had blood of ice water. These are riders. So I think you can be a rider and not be a biker at all. Because when I became a biker was about something different. A biker was about a lifestyle. A biker was about a level of politics that you don't see as a rider. A biker was about being with and being a part of and being with a group of bikers and doing the biker thing. And I think there's two kinds of bikers. There's the biker that is in league and has to hang around with, because see, a rider never has to be with bikers. A rider never has to hang out with a biker ever. A rider rides because that's in his blood. And when I was a rider, I didn't even know about motorcycle clubs. I didn't learn about motorcycle clubs till I joined the Navy. Oh my gosh, almost 20 years after I had started riding at about 5. I joined the Navy, 15, 16, 17 years later. Didn't know anything about motorcycle clubs. I was a rider. So when I became a biker, I became involved in biking culture. Being places that bikers go, doing things that bikers do, hanging out with bikers. And for me, there's two kind of bikers. There's the biker who has to do Daytona Beach and Sturgis and the National Bikers Roundup and boots and jeans and barbecue and all these different things that are involved in the biker subculture. And then there are the bikers that are motorcycle club bikers. Southern Comfort says he likes my red polo. My dog ate my red polo last week, man. Ate a hole in it. And I took that red polo to the cleaners and had that SOB patched. And now it's looking just fine. Somebody says my fingers turn white on the road below 45 degrees. Whose doesn't? But you have to have the heated hand grips, my friend. Those are a must when you get my age. 915 said, man, I just want to ride, man. Hello, Black Dragon from Huntsville. Hello, Black Dragon from Huntsville. Al, I enjoy your videos and podcasts and would like to pop into one of your events sometimes. The event that I've got coming up, folks, is the ride to oh my goodness, what's the name of that city? Minnesota. And that's coming up in June. And I'm going to put the whole thing, even my ride path, my route, up for anybody who wants to join with me on that ride. That's what I've got coming up then. Or if you call yourself a biker, you're a rider. If others call you a biker, you're a rider. Someone was talking about they hated it when people put labels on people. Someone said, I always heard since the 70s that a rider has the passion and a biker has the brotherhood. Yeah. And I think that's where I was going with that. I was going with that to this thing. For me, when I became a biker, I probably became less of a rider because there were biker things to do. And like I said, there's two kinds of bikers. There's the motorcycle club biker and the biker. And I went the motorcycle club biker way. So for me, being a biker became the passion of the brotherhood, the passion of the club life, the passion of the motorcycle set. And eventually, almost all my friends were bikers or social club members or some kind of biker of some kind of way. And I actually began to lose the friends that I had formed, but that before I became a so-called biker. As I joined the motorcycle club, biking took over every event of my life. And as as I became more ingrained in it, as 29 years, 30 years of this, I'm far more of a biker than I am a rider. So I can say that you can be a rider and you can be a biker, and you can be a biker who's a rider. So a biker can be a rider, but a rider can't. It's not necessarily a biker. You can be a biker and a rider. But if you're a rider, you're riding. And those bikers I know that are riders, they still typically ride alone. Funny how that is. Nobody wants to put those miles on it with them. Nobody wants to ride like that with them. Not even their own hardened club brothers. Because you have to ride your butt off to ride next to a rider. You got to get down to ride next to a rider. You got to be able to get in it to win it to ride next to a rider. And a biker who is a rider will ride your butt into the ground. And the only people that can hang with them are riders. So what do I think the difference between a rider and a biker is? I like that. A rider has the passion and a biker has the brotherhood, because there are many bikers that don't ride at all. There are many bikers that their motorcycles have been in the garage for the longest, or some don't even have motorcycles yet. They have vests and they show up in cars to everything that bikers do. Except you fail to see them on the ride. And there's a lot of bike clubs that are into bike clubbing and not into riding at all. They don't go anywhere. You never see them. They don't go anywhere. They don't go, like in San Diego. We used to have the Salton Sea run, and we would ride to the Salton Sea and party all week. That they haven't done that in 30 years or something. I haven't heard of a Salton Sea run in 20, 30 years. I could be wrong. I haven't heard of one. So those days where we used to pack up the whole club in a big caravan, and you had chase vehicles, and you had the women that were that didn't ride. The women that didn't ride were the wives and stuff. They were bringing up the back. We had a caravan that was 70 vehicles big, and 45 or 50 or 100 motorcycles, all going to some place to sup and be together and hang out. But that's still bikerism with some riding, because we had to ride to get there, those of us who rode. But that's out on the road, out on the highway, doing the rider thing. Clubs don't do that anymore. They don't know how. They haven't seen that in so long. Field meets and things, they don't. Where you have to ride to get to them, not get on an airplane and get off. Riding is a passion. Riding is a gift. Riding is something that we do if we have the blood of a rider in us. So, my Patriot Guard friend, I submit to you. First of all, I think he was trying to give you hassle for not being a motorcycle club biker, wannabe biker. And you're not a wannabe unless you ain't doing what it is you want to do. If you pulled in there on a motorcycle and you've been riding it, the only wannabe is that wannabe that's in his mind. You did fine. You did a good job, and I wouldn't worry about it. I think a rider has a passion for riding, and I think some bikers can be riders. But a lot of times when you get into the biker world, you leave the riding world for the women, the booze, the rock and roll, the parties, and the club BS politics. But who knows? I think that more clubs should be filled with riders. We'd have a lot less BS and a much better time. I am at my best when I am on two wheels riding across America, looking towards the heavens. When I get past Middle Texas and the speed limit opens up to 80 miles an hour, and all I see is open highways and nothing but desert and plains between me, God, and country. And I'm rolling. Rolling, though the streams are swollen, I keep those motorcycles moving rawhide. Rolling. Black Dragon, what's your email address? My email address, I don't use social media, Mike. What's your email address? I don't use social media. My email address is blackdragon@blacksabbathmc.com. Blackdragon@blacksabbathmc.com, and there's two B's in Sabbath. Love to hear from you. So anyway, that is what I think about the difference between a rider and a biker is, what the differences are. And I think you can be one without being the other, and I think you can be both. And I, my friends, am both. I am still a rider. And I still get down. I still get down on two wheels. And I hope I'm out riding you bastards until I'm 80. I'm going to try. Maybe even 99. So anyway, listen here. Think Tactical. That's my new channel, Think Tactical, on YouTube. You'll have to scroll down. We're a new channel, so you have to scroll down to get us. We don't come up. You'll see a few of our videos before you see the actual channel. Please go to Think Tactical and subscribe. Help me build Think Tactical up as you have helped me build Black Dragon Biker TV. Also, thinktacticalnews.com. We cover all the stories, anything that has to do with being prepared in case the defecation comes into contact with the roto oscillator. When the defecation comes into contact with the roto oscillator, are you prepared? Will you make it? Are you a biker prepper? Are you ready for Tiakwakwi? Can you handle the end of the world as we know it? Will you be able to take it when the S word hits the fan? That's what we want to know. And we want to help you be prepared for that. Our first video is about very cool code you can use to protect your family, the Jeff Cooper system. We did a video on that, and we did a video on bug out bags, and we've done 5 podcasts. And the podcast is Think Tactical. That can be found on Spreaker. So go check out our Think Tactical properties. Think Tactical properties are YouTube, Think Tactical, also Think Tactical, the podcast on Spreaker.com, and thinktacticalnews.com. Go check us out. Also, be sure to check us out on bikerliberty.com, the Black Dragon Biker News Network, where I do the stuff I do with the news. I do that in a written form. So all of my news broadcasts that you see, you can go get the longer story and even other videos at thinktacticalnews.com. So we want you guys to go over there and check that out. And the Dragon's Lair of this podcast, the Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos. We'd like for you to check that out. And of course, Black Dragon Biker TV, the #1 biker news network and biker protocol channel in the country. And consider becoming a Patreon supporter of our channel. Over at Patreon, you'll find us under Black Dragon National President. That's what my YouTube channel used to be called, Black Dragon National President. It's now Black Dragon Biker News Network, but our Patreon is still Black Dragon National President. We'd appreciate it very much if you check us out with the Patreon. Donation of $2 to $5 a month, or more if you want, but we're looking for either between $2 to $5 a month donation to help us keep the channel going. And your donation proceeds go to good things. You guys built my podcasting studio with your donations. and got me these wonderful, wonderful, wonderful pieces of equipment that are the top of the line, which you guys demanded that I step the game up, and many of you supported me and gave me the money to do that with. And here's your money right here. Here's your money. You guys did that. So thank you. So if you have any comments, please leave your comments down below in the comment section. And let me see if we have any questions. I lived in UP for 4 years. Way too much snow for me. Where is UP? How have your walks been going? Are you still crushing it? Yes. Still on my walks, still doing my walkie walk thing. And I will start to do some more podcasting for my walks. I realize I got most of you guys on my podcast when I was walking, so we're going to do some of that. BF, the summers make it worth it's stormy right now. Let's see. I found it interesting that you did a feed on bug out bags just a day after my holster company did the same thing. No shock that you hit the nail on the head with them. Oh, Steve, see, that's really cool. You need to send me Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com. Send me that link. I'd love to see what they did. Anytime you want to come along, it's good. Except I left the U.S. and live in Serbia now. Snake Charmer. Yes, Snake Charmer. Snake Charmer lives all over the world, y'all. He's the all over the world liver. UP is Upper Peninsula of Michigan. How did I not know that? Let's see. Going to the Euro Harley Rally, June. 1,900 miles each way. The Euro Harley Rally. It seems counter-American, the Euro Harley Rally. Okay, guys, it looks like I've kept a number of you guys up late talking about these fun things. The rest of you guys will see this or actually listen to this podcast or watch this tomorrow. My podcast, The Dragon's Lair Motorcycle Chaos, can be found on Spreaker, iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, you name it. Just about anywhere you can get a podcast, you will find us. iTunes Radio, all those things. No more moving, Black Dragon. I'm getting too old to learn a new language every few years. Snake Charmer says he's settling down. Rambling Man, why don't you settle down? Remember that song? And that rambling man couldn't settle down, and I don't know if Snake Charmer can either. But wherever you lay your hat, brother, you've managed to make it your home. He's going to ride from Serbia to Portugal, and that's a ride. I wish I could go on it with you, man. So anyway, someone says, I'm waiting for the Black Sabbath to hit Vero, Florida. Well, we are in Pensacola now, and we were in Jacksonville. We had to shut that chapter down, but we hope to open that one back up, and maybe we will be in Vero or a place near you. We're always looking for 7 brothers with verifiable legal income, motorcycles, and the desire to ride as Black Sabbath. And whenever we find those, we venture and we work to make them a Black Sabbath chapter. So just some information for you. You can get a hold of me at Black Dragon at blacksabbathmc.com. Make sure to go to my Instagram page, Black Dragon Biker, and like my Instagram page. My Instagram page is getting no love from you. And neither is my Facebook page. Make sure to go to my Facebook page, Black Dragon Biker, and join my Facebook page. So you'll have all my social medias, Instagram, Facebook. Also, my Twitter, JBunchII. Give me some love over there. So listen, that's my 2 cents. We thank you all for tuning in. Leave your comments down in the comment section. Thanks for tuning in, and get skinny.